Oshi Tomoshimasu. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Oshi Moshi Idol podcast. With me today are my regular members, Maris and Mina. And then we have a special guest with us today, Stephen Tetsu.
Hey,
say hello to the people.
Stefan.
Hey.
Yeah. So we have Stephen on today. We have Stephen on today to talk to us about. He's an Orai Geinin in Japan, and he's here today to talk to us a little bit about some of the Japanese entertainment industry. But ultimately, he's going to tell us a few things and infer some things for us about Yoshimoto Zaka 46.
What I can tell you, which is nothing.
Yeah,
I'll try to.
Stephen himself is he's a talent under Yoshimoto Creative, right? And then he also participated in the audition himself.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why we have him on this week.
Mm-hmm. That's so exciting.
Made it to the second round. No, I didn't just participate. I got to the second round. Then I cried like a little baby and got cut. So that's my experience.
How many rounds were there? We'll get to that, I guess. Oh,
yeah,
I mean, go ahead.
To that later.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Many questions.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah. Okay.
Typically, we start every episode sort of asking how everybody's week's been. But since you're new to the show, Stephen, I'm going to have you do a little bit of some self-intro, maybe explain to the people what exactly it is you do and how you got here, stuff like that.
All right. So where do I start? So my name's Stephen. I am a talent for Yoshimoto Creative Agency, the biggest comedy company in Japan, and also an idol company now apparently. I am 27 years old. I've been doing comedy for 3.5 years now. And I live in Tokyo. I live by myself. It's a sad, lonely existence as a comedian. And I also work on the Big in Japan podcast, which is an English language podcast done by a couple of the less popular foreign comedians in Japan. So me, Time Bomb Nick, and Black Samurai. Well, Black Samurai is way too popular to be doing the show, but he's doing it. And then Anne from Plankton. So it's the four of us doing a podcast, talking a bunch of crap we can't say in Japanese about the Japanese entertainment industry. So yeah, that's definitely something too.
Do you feel like you're shielded because you're speaking in English? Do you feel like they're like, they'll never figure out that we just said that in the podcast?
Well, I mean, like at a certain point, like if people do catch us, it's like, well, sorry, we said it. There's not much we can do to like, take it away or whatever.
True.
But the thing about we've noticed is like Japanese entertainment companies have no idea how like things work outside of Japan. Or even that we do have lives outside of like Japanese comedy. So like, honestly, my company knows nothing about the show. Nick's company is completely fine with him just talking crap about them every single week on our show. And I don't know what Anne's situation is, but I think she's completely fine too. So like, it's like, we can say whatever the heck we want, no matter how dirty or no matter how bad, or like even like accuse like big companies of doing bad things, and no one says anything. So like, it's completely free, which is great compared to like how Japanese conversations and Japanese stuff works. So like, honestly, Big in Japan, it's like a group therapy session for me and Nick and Anne.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's probably a really good outlet for you guys, right? To just chill and
it's like a way to unwind.
Yeah.
Without like spending a bunch of money on drugs, which is impossible in Japan anyways.
So Stephen, we're super excited to have you on. Me in particular, I've mentioned you a couple times throughout our podcast. So it really is an honor for me to have you on.
Yay!
Same here.
We're pumped.
It's an honor to be on.
Yeah.
Thank you. So first we're gonna start off with some idol news. Thankfully this week is a little lax on the
Wait, you're not gonna ask about how our weeks are going? I want to talk about my week.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I was just so excited that Stephen was here.
No, just I know how his week's going too. So please.
Yeah, Maris, how's your week been?
And then I don't have anything to say. It's like, it was shit. My week has been going great. Actually, I'm done with work tomorrow. I'm not working because I am going to the International, which is a Dota 2 event that is happening right now here in Vancouver. And I'm just going so I can be in front of the behind the casters and have this on happening, you know?
Yes.
So I'm gonna take my Oshi towel. You guys probably gonna see me there. Other than that, I think the other thing that is really big news is that Keyavids is getting a new website, and I'm like super involved in that. So I hope you guys.
Yeah, courtesy of Maris.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Once the time the countdown runs out, I'll probably just put it live before because I just want. I don't know. I'm just done with it, you know. I don't want to touch it anymore. So yeah. So that's been really cool and exciting, and I can't wait to make sure that you guys all you guys see it.
Keyavids is a pretty useful resource for people who are international.
It's pretty unique too. Like there's something we hear a lot is like fans talking like, oh, I wish like Nogizaka had something like Keyavids, or I wish like. And you know, I think the Keyakizaka fandom is pretty good at creating like fan resources. We have Keyaki Discovery as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I just want to support. Yeah,
I just know because like in the Nogizaka side of things, right? Like you have sites that will host like the RAWs, but no one's really like collecting all of the sub content.
Yeah.
Like outside of like the usual like torrent sites or discussion boards and things like that. So yeah, Keyavids is cool. We can all thank Maris for her hard work, Otsukare. Mina, how's your week been?
Uneventful.
Uneventful. You're done with school now, right?
Yeah, but I'm going back soon.
Yeah. Is it next week or?
The week after.
I mean, you get some break though, so.
Yeah, you know, catching up on idle stuff and games.
Ooh, what are you playing?
Me? Overwatch. I just play Overwatch.
We should play Overwatch.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's join. Let's play Overwatch together.
Oh, yeah, we should stream.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna ask you too, Stephen. How's your week been? What you been up to?
My week. So this week, in addition to being a comedian, I work, I guess, as an employee of Yoshimoto. So this week, I've been working on translating stuff for Yoshimoto, when they're trying to sell TV shows to like overseas, so like to like Singapore and like Hong Kong and that sort of stuff. So they're having me translating like just giant blocks of text in Japanese of like, here's what this show is about. Here's how many episodes it is. It ended 10 years ago. Like they're trying to have. I'm just translating all this for like every single show. It's like just random shows, like Iron Chef for some reason. So that's what I've been doing this week. Like Iron Chef ended 10 years ago, like no, 20 years ago, and we're still trying to sell it to Hong Kong people.
Yeah, so. I mean, even Iron Chef America, like their height was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's So that's what I've been working on. It's not exciting, but that's my life as a Yoshimoto slave.
Yeah. So you do like all their English translations? Is that you?
Yeah.
Well,
so Yoshimoto, despite being one of the biggest companies in Japan in terms of entertainment, has absolutely no one who speaks English. Like no one at all. So like me being a lowly third-year comedian, I get like a bunch of like random, like really, really high level, like confidential like text, like contract agreements, like shoved on my desk to translate.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are you leaving this to me as a no-name guy who barely knows what he's doing as like in terms of like anything? So I mean, Yoshimoto, it's very haphazard in that way, is what I found. But it's also, I mean, it's cool because I get to know a bunch of stuff no one else knows. But it's like, it's definitely quite the experience.
Also, if I ever need to write some legal contracts in Japanese, I know who to ask for because now I have no idea.
Please don't ask me.
Your kanji level is probably like off the roof right now. You know all the kanjis Japanese people don't know. It's like great.
All I will say is that Google Translate is a lifesaver in terms of just like figuring out what this random like 40-stroke character means, right? Like Google Translate is absolutely like it's like my third hand.
I can work on Yoshimoto then, guys. Like, yeah, I can use Google Translate.
No, honestly, you probably could. You probably could.
All right.
Yeah. So, my week.
Yeah, how was your week?
I mean, yeah, how's your week?
I watched some. I watched some movies. I watched some TV. That's normal. I mean, there's Sakamichi auditions were a thing, right? And I was kind of involved in that. I'm very hardcore number 30, and I think it shows now on my Twitter account.
Yep.
But yeah, that was it. And we'll talk about the Sakamichi auditions and sort of result from that later on. But I think we can start from the top of the news now, right? There's nothing else I forgot.
Now we can start.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Reese.
so light news week actually. In AKB, the biggest thing from Out of 48 is the Sentimental Train music video. Yeah, that was something worth watching, guys. So for the people who may not know, right? Some recap, right? So Senbatsu Sosenkyo is AKB's big event every year to vote in who's the most popular girls, right? And this year's winner was Matsui Jurna. But she is on hiatus for health problems, probably because of stress, right? She was doing a lot of things at once, including going to Korea back and forth for Reduce, preparing for her campaign for Sosenkyo, and then even after, there's a lot of backlash from just stupid things as a result of Sosenkyo, as there always is, because people are dumb. But yeah, Jurna went on hiatus, and so it was kind of up in the air what they would be doing about this single. But yeah, they released the music video, and it's art, guys. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good, but like.
So the reason why it's good, to me at least, is because the entire music video has planned for Jurna to be in it.
Yes.
But she's not in it. So instead, they have 2D storyboards just interspersed within the music video. And during the dance parts, they made a CG model.
That really looks like Julian, I have to say.
Yeah.
And then also when they need someone to interact with the rest of the girls, they have a back model.
Yes.
And then at the end of the video, you have like a 9-year-old clip of Jurna just smiling for like 2 seconds.
I was like, what? Yeah.
And you really strongly get the impression that Matsui Jurna died.
Yeah, she died. Yeah.
It's the trophy thing again.
Yeah. Even in the narrative of the music video, right? There's a scene where she's kind of walking away from them, and it's the back model, right? And they're all just kind of watching her walk away from them while they're all like looking through this telescope or whatever, right? And then she like stops, and then she just fucking disappears. She's just gone. Yeah.
I think at first I was like, what the fuck? Like what like this is a new standard that we're setting up here. The bar now is like holy shit. And then I started watching it and I'm like, okay, this is actually art. Like this is too good to be true.
It's so art.
It probably like they spent like $2 making this, $2 Canadian. That is less than American dollars doing this, but it's so good. It's so I don't know. It's so bad it's good, guys. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's just a whole experience.
It's just great.
Such an experience. Yeah. And then like the cover art too, right? Yes, there's the cover where it's supposed to have all their faces, all their like side profiles, right? But the spot where Jurna should be is just a picture of a cloud.
It's good. It's art.
It's like
it's artistic.
Dead. Right? She went to heaven. She ascended
to
a new plane.
Journa just takes so many forms, right? She's a 2D drawing. She's a CG idol. She's a cloud. Multi-talent.
She's a trophy.
She's a chair.
She's a chair.
Multi-talented idol. We stand hard.
She's playing.
Yeah.
So she's almost she's almost like David Bowie from Twin Peaks. She's not there anymore, but she's still there in random ways to indicate that she's still there, but she's not actually there. But like, oh yeah, she's there. She's even more important than before. But she's multiple forms now. She's better than before, right?
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I think we all still wish her well, right? Hopefully she recovers, comes back to AKB, and is just the same journalist she's always been. But really, I mean, just thinking about it, right? Like when the whole sort of situation came up, like Journa, we weren't sure if Journa's gonna be in the music videos and stuff like that, right? I really felt like what they should have done was like release this song like any other song, right? Like because you recorded the song already without her. You recorded the music video already without her. You should just released it like a normal fucking song and then just given Journa a new song down the line. No one knows how to think. They don't have brains.
But look. Would you prefer not getting a video like this though? Because right now I kind of want this video. I'm like, okay, I'm glad Judina is not there, so we can get this masterpiece of a video. It's so good.
This video was magical, so I will give you that.
So there you go. Yeah. So Judina,
and I mean, I'm sure it creates buzz, things like that. So what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that if I have to think, well, we went from teacher to this, guys. Just think about it. Just think about the improvement here, and this will rank on my top 10 or top 5 videos from AKB just because of how crazy this thing was. Like, it's so bad, it's great, and I love it. And Judina is, I don't know what they're trying to tell us, that Judina is gone.
Multi-idol.
Some people were kind of upset that Dasu didn't get a lot of screen time. She's number 2, right? And so she gets like a whole like narrative part at the beginning. But then like throughout like the actual parts of the video where the song is playing, she's only really in the dance shots. And I know some people were kind of upset about that because Sakura got a ton of shots and Sakura's number 3.
Guess why? Guess why Sakura's getting all this? Oh,
I wonder.
I would never see that coming, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if Kanji Keyaki gets like, if Hirata is like 3rd row, do you honestly think she's not gonna get any shots? Like, there's no way. There's no fucking way. Yeah. Anyway. Chad is saying that was PS2 graphics. I think you're being too kind, actually.
Really?
I'm joking.
I mean,
PS2 is like, I don't know, cubes, I guess.
PS2 was I mean pretty good for its time.
All right. I don't remember.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I only have a few other pieces for 48. Speaking of Dasu, Suda Akari, she just released her photo book.
Yes.
And it is yabai. It's very Dasu. I haven't seen any scans of it yet, just because I don't think there are any yet. But yeah, that's out, and you can buy it if you want. And then besides that, HKT is also doing their auditions over Showroom, just like Sakamichi did, just like Supergirls are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a thing going on, right? And so yeah, you have a lot of girls, like just like Sakamichi, right? It's the same thing over again. It's just now it's HKT48, and they all know what group they're going to be in. That's because that's still kind of up in the air with Sakamichi right now. Has anybody been watching besides me, Mina?
I watched one.
You watched one? Anything noteworthy about that one Showroom?
Was it the English one?
It was. Sorry.
Was it the one?
Yeah,
the girl.
There's one really good English speaker.
Yeah. It was that one because like my friend's like, you should watch it, and I watched it, and then I'm like,
she's what, like number 25?
25,
I think?
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched her. And then, that's all.
She spent 5 years in America. She knows some Spanish too because she studied Spanish in America.
She spoke very white Spanish. She's like, "Yo soy, yo soy."
It was so white. I was like, okay.
But her vocabulary was at least a little bit up above like your average American knowing Spanish.
Guacamole.
As someone who lives in Texas,
Tacos. Guacamole.
Fozzie thinks she was number
Burrito.
29, so forgive me for saying 25.
Okay, 29. Yeah.
Number 29.
Yeah. I think I was watching number 25. That's why I threw that in there.
Okay.
Know who's what number, because I'm not paying as close attention to that I was in Sakamichi. But yeah. HKT auditions. If you want to catch them, I think they're still going on through the 28th. Yep. Besides that, NGT is pushing their fourth single back 1 week. I don't really know why. Some speculation is just that like Sony releases a lot of CDs, right? And there's not as many CD pressers anymore out there. And so like there's kind of a delay just for production stuff like that, just because it's only 1 week. And so there's not like a ton they can do in a week. So that's the rumor anyway.
It's
but yeah, that's all I have for
over, guys. They're not even selling that well. They're not selling that well.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have for Japanese domestic 48. Do you have anything, Mina?
So MNL released their Aitakatta video August 17th with 20
with the super white filter.
Yes, super. The filter was. I don't like the filter. But
I didn't watch it. But what do you mean by white filter? Does that mean what I think it means?
So their music video is very, very poorly graded, like color graded.
Yeah, you can see it.
It looks like they just put like a gray filter over everything, so everything's super desaturated and super decontrasted, and it's just terrible. It's so bad.
Okay, guys, the Filipino industry, their cameras are shit. Just saying. I've watched.
Is that the reason though? I mean,
I don't. They're like I've watched a few like shows in Tagalog, and the filters and stuff are really bad. So I'm just guessing they use their cameras or something. But
how? Okay, I have like a weird question.
Yes.
Are people like as fixated in being white, like super white, as like other Asian countries are?
So yeah, it's Southeast Asia. They care a lot about culture.
All right, so that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's not like a white that they're making them. It's like very like grayish white.
Okay, so they look like zombies. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah.
Kind of.
Okay, they look unnaturally human. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks weird. I think it's a filter or something.
All right.
But yeah, and then they performed live on Showtime. That's about it. I don't have news. Actually,
did B&K not release their single yet? When is that happening? When's the music video coming? Do you know?
Nope, I didn't check it.
Nope.
I checked on their site, but like it's in like Thai, so I don't understand. I didn't translate.
Okay. Well, anyway,
we'll see.
We don't know what's going on with B&K. I think they already they revealed their actual Senbatsu for their single, right?
Yes, they released it, but I will tweet it if I find it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll put a link to their Senbatsu in the description.
Yeah.
Is that all you have?
No, I have a lot in China, 48. So top 16 for So Senkyo returned to Shanghai from Croatia today or yesterday, 23rd. And Jing, I'm gonna butcher their names. Jing Mi, who's the co-captain for SNH Team H2, will perform a mini live in Shangming Theater on August 24th. And also, CKG will perform in the same theater September 1st to celebrate their top 16 girls for 5th winter elections. And the new subunits for SNH is HO2, which is called Healthy Oranges. And then,
Healthy Oranges.
Yes, I don't know why. And then Blue V is also debuting. So HO2 has it's a duet of Nanashi and Lisa, and Blue V has Mo Hang, Lee Yoon Kyu, Leung Yi, Sun Ri, and Wang Li. That's it. That's all my names. Yes.
Okay. So that's it for 48. We can talk about Produce here, right?
Yes.
So the last episode was episode 10. Right? Yeah, episode 10. I watched it yesterday. Did you watch? Maris, I'm guessing, did not watch.
I was too busy.
Maris never watches, so.
I do sometimes. I'm just busy lately, okay? It's not my fault.
Next week.
So to continue.
I'll show you the receipts, okay? How busy I am.
You don't need to do that. I know you're busy, Maris. I just.
It's okay, Maris.
Yeah. So in episode 9, everyone was shuffled into groups and they trained together and all that jazz for concept evaluations, which were the performances for last week. And so they performed all 6 songs, and then you get to see all the training and the drama and stuff that happens behind the scenes, about people not performing well at the rehearsals and then doing perfectly on stage, and just your same old would produce. Any standout moments for you, Mina?
Me? Episode 9?
Yeah, episode 10.
10?
The performances.
The performances, right? I think. What's her name? It was a Korean member. The Black Horse. Shoot. Her name. Yes.
What team?
I forgot the T. I didn't actually watch it. I only watched the stages. I skipped kind of the dialogue and I watched the stages, but it was No Rumor. Is that one of the songs?
It's Rumor, just Rumor.
Rumor, yes, Rumor. Yeah. That song I liked. And the one where Miu is in also. That's a good song.
Yeah, the Miu song was, what was that? That was is that Meet Again? Like See You Again?
Like
yeah. That was actually my favorite of the night.
Yeah. It wasn't as memorable as season 1, but the songs were good.
There's nothing that was fingertips level for me.
Yeah. Like season 1 songs were like really good. I still listen to it now, but like this season, it hasn't. Still listened to it for a while. But...
Maris and Seven have no idea what we're talking about.
I have no idea.
Okay. We'll get through this pretty fast.
We'll get through it.
These
two don't
know. So I'll just like give a crash course to Seven real quick. Okay, so Akimoto's 48G, basically he sent a bunch of girls to Korea, and those girls are competing with Koreans to make a like Korean subunit or a Korean unit that will last with this lineup potentially 2.5 years, and then from there they're going to replan things. Basically, that's how it goes down. And so they televise the whole competition weekly on Korean television, and they simulcast to Japan. So but it was just performances this week.
It's a big thing. Like they actually send like their big heavy hitters. So like Miyawaki Sakura is there. Like Jurina was there, but now she's dead apparently, so she can't be there.
She's a cloud.
Now she's a cloud. You know, I bet she's still there. I bet she's like an object, but it's still there. She's still there. Yeah.
He's a chair guy.
Yeah. Someone in the chat is telling us that their favorite part was the eliminated contestants in the audience. So some of the girls who were cut from 2 weeks ago, they actually came to the live performances, right? And during like a lull in between like performances, they actually like the venue turned on music and they danced to their songs that they performed previously on the show, and it was heartwarming, and there was like reunions and stuff like that. But So the winning team was it was the team with Miru and Won Young, right? It was Rollin', which is a kind of cute song with Honda Hitomi too. So next week is the penultimate elimination, right? We're cutting from 35 to 20 girls. That's a big deal. It's the last one before they determine the final lineup of 12. So tune in to that tomorrow morning or later tonight for Stephen, I guess.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
later
please,
tonight.
Please tune in, okay? Like you're.
I'll make sure all my plans are canceled and I'll check it out.
They're gonna spend 2 hours. They're gonna spend 2 hours telling you who 20 people are gonna be. So just prepare yourself for that.
It's so.
That seems like Yoshimoto Zaka, so.
It's so long. It has no right to be this long. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, we're about done with this, right? And then I check like how long have I watched, and there's like a huge bar, and I'm like, oh god. And then it's just them like showing nothing, and then at the end they end with a cliffhanger. It's great.
I mean, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but that seems like Yoshimoto Zaka in a nutshell. Just like, when's this gonna end? It's still going on. Jesus, what? Another round of auditions. Just cut it already, right? Like that's that's Yoshimoto Zaka.
That's how they like to do things.
That's Akimoto Yasashi's modus operandi.
If someone like made a 2-hour show about anything here in Canada, I don't think anyone would watch it. Like, there's no way. It's a movie, guys. Go watch a fucking movie.
A movie.
Why? Yeah. Like, there's no reason for me. I don't know. That's weird.
But
just weird.
You have to think they film a lot, and then they have to compact it in one episode, right?
They can compact it way more. There's too much unnecessary.
They have to fill in 2 hours. That's what they have to do.
It's probably because the past seasons were like, we want more content, so they gave more content, but it's like too much content.
I never heard anyone saying that. And also, I just think they have like a 2-hour slot, and they just have to fill it in. So, I don't know. Bless the people that are editing that as well, since we were talking about editors.
Yeah.
Bless that person. I hope they get a raise. And they get to see their kids, and like eventually.
Guys, last episode is 4 hours. I bet you.
The last episode, because it's broadcasted live. The last episode.
4 hours. Yeah, but it's live though.
Oh, a lot of people are gonna watch it.
It's a whole event, right? Because they broadcast it live for one, and then they do live voting too.
Yeah.
So.
How long is Sosenkyo? Because Sosenkyo goes on TV, right? They actually show Sosenkyo on TV.
Yeah,
it's like 8 hours, right? It's like long.
Yeah, but
but they have like commercial breaks and stuff, though, right? And it's like,
yeah,
right.
But like the concert isn't televised, right? Or it's televised somewhere else.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's not televised.
Somewhere else.
But just
somewhere
else, yeah.
Just the
concert's like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. But just the part of ranking, I thought it took forever. I was watching that for like ages.
It's long.
Yeah.
It was long.
Because they take forever to announce names, and then everyone gives a fucking speech. And it's just
everyone has a speech.
And then they're crying.
They have 100 girls give a speech.
Yeah. And then they're like thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Pass the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they flamed more people.
5H.
That's what I wish.
In the chat telling me that it was 30 going to 20. I said 35.
30 to 20.
30 going to 20. Okay.
30 to 20. Besides that, we can move on to some Sakamichi stuff. Not that much going on in Nogizaka. I mean, I think they extended their little showroom campaign that they're doing. I think last night there was Horimiona. And then and then Kubo Shiori, who I talked about last week about her being on maybe not hiatus. She was at a fashion show for her magazine that she signed to, 17. But besides that, Sakamichi Auditions was really the big thing going on in Sakamichi. But we can get to that after Maris goes through some Keyaki stuff real quick.
Yep. Is that it for Nogi?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
All right, great. Because there's not much for Keia as well. Like, what I can say is that last week, there was a music station, so we got to see... Actually, last week we got to see 2 performances of Ambivalent, which is their their latest single. We saw one in Music Station, and we also saw the Keyaki Republic cut on Keyaki Kakenai, because they did a special that was Keyaki Republic. So we got to see that, and we got to see like changes in choreography already, which was cool to see. And I actually really like how this single... I love this single. Like, I really like the song, and I really like the performances. I really like the dynamic, and I think like Kyaki's doing something different. I've never seen like... I don't know, do you guys can think of a K-pop, like a girl band in K-pop that does like... I mean, I know Techi's just doing like a cartwheel, but I don't remember like a lot of like girls doing...
What are you talking about? What are they?
Like acrobatics?
What are you
Yeah,
asking?
acrobatics.
Yeah,
like doing some acrobatics.
So, Wuju Sonyo, which is Cosmic Girls, has a member named Shenjiao.
Oh, yes.
Who's
She's
Chinese,
just there for that.
and
Yes.
she's
She's just
famous just for flipping. She just
Oh,
does
yeah.
flips.
No, she does. Yeah, that's true though. They only have her do.
It was like the guy from
That's
Exo,
girl.
the Tao. It was a Tao. That
Tao?
was like a guy
Yeah,
from China.
Tao.
Yeah, he was just there to like
Just
do
do
this with a
flips.
sword and do like some
and
flips.
do
yeah.
flips.
Yeah, but like it's Hirate doing it, so I think it's kind of cool. I don't know, I really like the dynamic. I think Takahiro is really good at choreography. Like it's just insane the kind of stuff he does. It's very different. And Kanji Keyaki is 100% gonna die one day if like the entire set list is that crazy of a choreography. I don't know how they do it, but there you go. So yeah, we got to see that. It was awesome. Go watch it. Keyavids has probably some. It has Keyakake and I already subbed for you guys, so if you guys want to watch it. Other than that, we got to know what Neru CM was. Like we were talking about Neru getting like a CM last week, and she was getting like a Twitter page and an Instagram, I guess, for a while. And we got to see the CM, and oh my god, is it weird? It's so weird. I love
it's for Aga Hair Clinic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what does Aga Hair Clinic do?
Hair stuff? I don't know. I didn't look into it.
Are they stylists? Do they cut hair? Do they grow hair?
They
Do they
take
donate hair?
They take hair away according to the CM, because Neru gets
so maybe
stuck.
it's donations.
Neru gets stuck in like a guy's head, and then like she pulls it. Like Neru is like wearing a. I don't even know what that is. Like is Neru's a
like
square.
A sign?
She's a square.
Yeah, she's a square.
It's a square.
It's a square with Neru's face, and like her hands are like this. There's just like a place for her to put her hand, and she's walking, and she's being a nuisance. She's like, I don't know, people are trying to do their stuff in life, but she's a giant square, and she's just bumping into everyone. And then I can't believe this is a CM. I'm talking about it, and I don't understand. And then this guy walks around, and then his head gets stuck in Neru square part, and then she does this, and then half of his hair is in her, and then it cuts to like this is and then it cuts to like this is hair clinic. These are the prices. Check it out. And I'm like, yeah, like Didi is talking about it. Like it was an afro, right? The guy had an afro, and then it gets stuck on Neru square, and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Neru square.
Neru's a square. That's the only thing I can think of.
If you want to join us in the weird video, there'll be a link in the description.
Yeah, just go watch it. It's Japanese, like top quality, like commercials. I love it. Sometimes when I'm really bored and sad, I just watch like compilations of Japanese commercials, and it always makes me happy.
Japanese commercials.
Yeah, they're funny.
Have you been
so
any
good.
weird CMs, Stefan?
I haven't been in any weird CMs, but like I know a guy who's like the body double for Tommy Lee Jones and all the Boss coffee commercials.
Oh my god, the Boss is so good.
Which is like, so apparently Tommy Lee Jones is too big a name to like come to Japan for more than like 3 hours.
Of
So, like,
course.
they have Tommy Lee Jones come to Japan, do all his close-up shots, and all the faraway shots are his body double.
That's hilarious.
So like when Tommy Lee Jones is doing like crazy like jumps off of buildings and stuff, it's actually like a 20-something-year-old Broadway dancer guy who's actually doing all that stuff.
That's hilarious. I'm so glad that you told me this. Like, I love the CMs more. Boss CMs makes no sense at all. I love it. 10 out of 10.
Like Tommy Lee Jones is apparently an alien in this timeline of the Boss CM commercials.
That dog is the dead,
but it's
I
also
guess.
Tommy Lee Jones.
It's also Tommy. It's great. Go watch it. Yeah, go watch it.
Like he's still Tommy Lee Jones, but he's also an alien on the side. Apparently, like that's the entire concept, the conceit of these Boss coffee commercials, which they're advertising coffee, by the way, but you would never know judging from the content of these commercials.
I think like you never know what you're gonna get like when it comes to Japanese CMs, and like honestly, and this like blows me away because you just said like it's hard to like to get drugs in Japan. How the hell did they think of this stuff? And who is the person that is like, oh yeah, that sounds like sensible. Yeah, let's put some money and make this crazy idea that you just had. Like, who is in charge of this? I just want to meet these people. I want to be in a brainstorm session of like a Japanese commercial. That's what I want to be in life.
Like what apparently happens is because Japan only has like one or two big like advertising corporations. There's like apparently no competition, so just like this one company is allowed to just run wild and do whatever the hell it feels like in terms of like random concepts that have nothing to do with commercial, with the
that
actual
sounds like the
product
dream.
being advertised. Yeah, right. Like if I was an advertiser, I would love being able to just do whatever the hell I want and still get paid for it. But like, yeah, I mean, like, right, like Boss Coffee, or even like Neru's one they were talking about earlier. Like, what? How is that supposed to be appealing to anybody who wants to, I don't know, get their hair done
you'll just lose your hair.
Yeah, right. So I mean, that's Japanese advertising is by far like the weirdest aspect of the Japanese entertainment industry.
I love it. I love
to
it.
me, at least.
I think they don't know. I don't think Japan understands how great it is. And then like when foreigners get to see it, is like, holy shit, Japan is great. Yeah. It's always like on a 9gag like thing post or whatever.
Yeah.
9gag.
It's always on that 9gag.
It's always like, oh look, Japan. Oh, Japan. I love it. Anyway.
9gag still exists?
I don't know. I just said 9gag because yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, I mean, there's not much. The tour is still happening. If you're in Japan, go see Kanji Keyaki, I guess. If you get tickets, you probably won't get tickets, but try. You can try. And there's a bunch of Hibiki stuff that is coming out because Hibiki is coming out September 14th. Is that what I said the other? Yeah, September 14th.
And that's the movie with Hirata Yurina.
Yes,
yeah. Which is a movie that Techi is the lead. Also, Hibiki is apparently sponsoring Keyaki Tekenai, which is really funny. So Techi like just making like the entire Sakamichi like richer. That's what she's doing here. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of upcoming things that are gonna involve her like in TV shows. She's gonna go to a bunch of shows. And they're announcing way too early, so I'm like, there are shows that are gonna happen just in September, and they already have like teasers of it. Yeah, and a lot of TV and magazine stuff for her. So apparently that's why she looks dead already in Kanji performances again. So she looks like
that's typical Techi.
Yeah, she's just
speaking of like TV stuff.
What?
Right. Imaizumi still hasn't shown up in her drama, right?
Question mark.
I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I'm just gonna watch the episode that Zoomin comes up because that whole thing just sounds really pedophile for me to watch. So.
Well, the whole show is about a pedophile. Like that's the show.
I try to
is
like
a teacher.
I tried to not say that word, but I kind of did. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. So there you go. I'm just watching for Maizumi's sake whenever she comes back, and that's it, guys. There's not much we can talk about.
Basically, they just used her for like free advertising. She hasn't shown up yet.
Much.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like when the tabloids like, oh, I have a hot scoop about like a Kanji Keyaki member or like a Nogizaka member, and it's like Nogizaka member random number 350, and they just put like Shirai Shimai on the picture, but then there's nothing to do with Shirai Shimai, nothing to do with her. They just do that a lot, so yeah.
So we just had Stephen sit through all this idol stuff, but I kind of wanted to ask him, like, Stephen, what's your actual awareness of like
idols?
What happens in the idol world?
Yes.
So right now, not much, just because it's the nature of the business. Like I'm too busy doing my own stuff, or like so like the idol stuff I will hear is either like really weird behind the scenes stuff that like I'm not allowed to say at all, like because like it's really bad, or like random.
We're ending the podcast right now, guys. We have like
okay, goodbye. We want to hear this news.
So it's stuff like, hey, here's who Oshi Mayuko was sleeping with when she was still an AKB member, stuff like that. So, like, I know that stuff. I know that stuff, which I definitely can't say on
Grade A stuff.
Oh my god!
It's like,
oh my god!
Oh my god.
Or it's stuff like, here's a random Chica Idol unit that we want to use a random Yoshimoto TV show. What do you think about him? So it's like random, it's either like super high class like gossip stuff or like random really really low grade like Chica Idol stuff that like no one cares about. But back when I was in college, actually, yeah,
go ahead.
I was into I was into AKB when I was kinda. It was like right around like, so who were my Oshi men back in the day? It was like Kasai Tomomi and like yeah. It was like, so it's like right around that generation. So like I think I got it right about when Iriyama Anna got slashed by the crazy dude. Like I'm like, okay, people are getting stabbed. This is too much for me. I'm out.
She's
so, like,
still around.
She's still around.
She's in Mexico. She's in Mexico now.
Yes, she's in Mexico.
I've seen her in TV studios before. So yeah, but I mean like, and then I mean I can't really say much, but we have a former SDN member who we're working with right now for one of our big Yoshimoto projects. So yeah.
Ooh, exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah. So
I want to ask something.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
I have a lot of questions. No. Go ahead.
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask when Suto Ritaka did her thing. She was Yoshimoto, right? Or she was under Showtime. She still is. Like, yeah. Like just. I want to know what was happening, like in the office. Like was it a surprise to people at Yoshimoto?
So you honestly, I think the Yoshimoto side doesn't give a crap or doesn't give a damn at all about like what people are doing. But it's the AKB side, the Akimoto Yasushi ran side that probably threw a fit about that. Like Yoshimoto in general, like they couldn't give two damns about like who does what really, as long as it's not against the law or it's like something that'll reflect badly on the company. So like, I know like the second she quit or the second she got kicked out, it's probably the better term, kicked out of NMB, like she, like I know Yoshimoto offered her a bunch of different work. So right now she's even still like, she's in Tokyo now full time. She's doing like stage lives for like, or like actually like stage, like full like plays. And then she's also part of the Yoshimoto's improv group that they're doing right now. And then, yeah, the occasional TV appearance. But, like, I think, honestly, well, I mean, the thing is, the AKB system, the idol system generally is like a salary-based system. Yoshimoto, once you become a full-on Yoshimoto member, it's all like a gig-based system. So, like, you get like a couple thousand yen for one live or whatever. So, like, honestly, she's not making as much as she did before. But in terms of work, and in terms of like Yoshimoto, like the thing is she's funny in the circumstances of why she's no longer an idol or funny. So like Yoshimoto finds like tons of ways to use her. I don't think she's making as much money as before. I know one of the people who's in charge of show title was like he was like laughing about her getting married more than anything else. So like I think from the Yoshimoto side, we're all just like, oh cool, she's married now. Okay, how can we use this? But like yeah. So Yoshimoto, I don't think had any problem with it.
I still follow like really pulling on like SNS and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like so I see how well she's doing sometimes. And I'm just curious because like there's such a difference between like her being able to work after graduation versus like Watanabe Miyuki, right?
Yeah.
Like Milky was like famous for not being allowed to do anything.
Well, I think part of it too is there's like so at least for comedians, I know there's like a half-year like blacklisting after you quit a gym show or whatever. You're blacklisted for half a year, so you can't really do any work that's not like completely independent or like behind the scenes or whatever. But like I think with in Really Plum's case, she didn't want to really leave NMB per se. Like it was just kind of like a full on like I got married. Like, okay, we can't have a married member in NMB. You're gone. So she got kicked out of NMB, but she was still represented by Yoshimoto.
Yeah.
So like she never quit Yoshimoto, so that allowed Yoshimoto to just keep letting her do a bunch of different work, and which is probably a good thing about NMB, or as opposed to other Sakamichi groups or Yoshimoto group or sorry AKB group or 48 groups, is since it is Yoshimoto, everyone's represented by Yoshimoto or show title. They're allowed. They like if they just quit NMB, they'll still be represented by one of the biggest companies in Japan, right? Yeah. So like I think that's kind of I think in Miruki's case, I think there's some behind the scenes stuff there too that kind of contributed to it.
Okay.
Is it behind the scenes stuff that you know?
I mean, so I mean, you kind of hear about like who's tough to work with, but like that's all. I'll just say that like there's some people who are tougher to work with than others, and it kind of reflects on how much work they get after stuff happens.
It's just because like when like a lot of people in the international community, when you talk about like the situation with Milky and even like some other enemy grads, like you hear stuff about like Yoshimoto's like 2-year non-compete, and how that's a big deal. Just because I feel like we don't talk about that with any other group. We just talk about that.
Yeah.
NMB. So I just thought.
Yeah. Well, I think that is Yoshimoto like kind of flexing there, like, hey, we're powerful, we can't do this, or you're not allowed to do this. But even with like Oshi Moshi, right? Like after she graduated AKB, she was represented by a different gym show, so she's able to work. But now with like a lot of like the recent graduates or whatever, since a lot of them are represented by AKS originally, they they have a whole different set of problems to get through. Especially with Yoshimoto, since Yoshimoto does produce so many different TV shows and so many different like things. Like they have a whole contract with like TV with Nippon Terebi to produce like a bunch of different original content there. So like I think when Yoshimoto says you have a non-compete clause, like they mean it. Like you can't like they'll actually enforce it. And like since it is Yoshimoto, like all the shows are Yoshimoto, so it's like you can't go on this show, you can't go on this show, you can't go on this show. So it's right?
Yeah.
Which is why I'm still in Yoshimoto. So,
Don't leave. Stay there.
I can't.
I don't know. Maybe leave.
I'm not allowed to leave. Yeah.
We'll hire you.
Before we let. We'll hire him for what? What money? With what money?
He's gonna hire me to talk shit about who Oshi Mayuko slept with.
Or just give us like all the deets, right? Because like you're already reading all the legal stuff and translating it, and all the scoops. So like we're gonna be famous guys and not have any money.
I mean,
because this doesn't make any money. Just so you guys know.
I'll give it some thought.
Yeah, it's a really good. Come on, it's a good offer.
It's a really good deal. You just get no money.
You get nothing.
No money and
potentially fired from Yoshimoto.
Yeah. It's a win-win situation when you think about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Before we let Stephen take it away with some Yoshimoto Saga stuff, I'm just gonna fill in here that Sakamichi auditions are complete now. They announced that 38 members had passed. But only 32 sort of streams for their like congratulations stream, like we won.
Yeah.
And so there's still 6 who are unknown, and we've not received any word about when they'll be revealed or anything like that. And so of course you have like Woda Online speculating like they do about like whatever reason they might not have announced by now. I just think that it's because they just don't want to. But people are saying that like there are a lot of girls who were dissatisfied with the group that they were picked for, which is kind of a surprise considering that like in the streams there are a lot of girls who are saying that they don't know where they're going yet. But yeah. So we don't know anything official. We're just waiting for.
That sounds weird to me. I don't know. Like when you apply to these things and you just go through it, like, and also like, do you honestly think they would switch people around? I feel like they would just be like, yeah, or you're in or you out. Like, I don't know if they they care about you enough. You're like, you're nobody. You're not like.
When you've made it this far out of 130,000 applicants, right?
I'll be happy.
Yeah. You're gonna take the job.
They will make an exception if you're Nagahama Neru, but if you're not Nagahama Neru, then nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you're Nagahama Neru,
they're gonna make an exception.
Yeah. If you're Nagahama Neru, you get your own group, okay? You get your own thing. If you're not, then nobody cares. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're just like waiting and like, cause it's pretty busy right now, right? For I think like Kanji is doing like a bunch of stuff. Hiragana is doing like their stage play right now. So I don't know what Nogi is doing. Probably nothing. But yeah.
I mean, they're still on their tour. Their summer tour. I think.
Yeah. So everybody's on tour. Like, let's just wait this for like the end of the year, maybe ish, closer to the end of the year. Sounds like right.
Just to read off the numbers of girls who passed, there's 1, 4, 9, 13, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 35, 37, 38, 40, 41, 44, 47, 48, 59, 61, 66, 70, and 71. Those are just face members. The faceless members, there's
a lot.
There are 10 faceless members.
There's 10, yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. 8, 20, 45, 55, 58, 62, 64, 65, 76, 77.
We're 67.
Bunch of numbers there. So yeah, there's 6 who are still to be determined.
Yeah.
I actually think I would have to confirm, but wouldn't it be so weird if someone who made it in who didn't stream? Because that happened with Keyaki before. Someone chose not to stream but still made it in.
Like a Hiragana member, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But yeah, so people think it's weird just because like some of the top members who ranked like the best in Showroom haven't been decided yet.
Yeah, I wonder how much this Showroom stuff like influences when it comes down to like choosing members, because it shows that you can like gather a bunch of people. I don't know, you can get a bunch of people interested in you, but I don't know, like the faceless members, I don't think people were really watching those members. Maybe they were, and I wasn't paying attention to it. But I wasn't interested in them at all. Because it's just like a faceless member. They're just speaking Japanese. You know, it's going to be a hard time for me. But, yeah, I think it all comes down to, like, yeah, I think you're a good pick.
Whether Sony wants
you. Yeah, whatever Sony wants, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just noteworthy mentions are 67, who was ranked number 1. That's Mina's favorite, right?
And she's not in yet.
Yeah.
She's not in yet. Well, like, they haven't announced it yet, so I'm hoping she's in.
And then there's also, like, 42. 42 was, like, 4th.
42.
And 15, we still don't know what the fuck happened to her. She just disappeared.
Maybe she made
gone
it.
Forever.
Ooh. Did you hear about this, Stefan?
Maybe she made it.
Did you hear about this?
Number 15 for the Sakamichi auditions.
Yes.
Did you hear about this? She just
number 15.
Yeah. So
no information. Sorry.
So number 15 was a weird thing because she streamed for like 3 days or something, or 2 days, and she got like a ton of views, and she started getting like Tokyo Towers and stuff on her stream, and then she just disappeared. So everybody's like, she took the Tokyo Tower money and she ran away with it.
Yeah, she left.
She just left.
She just wanted Tokyo Towers.
It's a scam. So we don't know. We don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors, but we don't know anything either, Stefan. So
Stefan doesn't know.
With official showroom accounts, official showrooms accounts are official because they go through company. So she saw absolutely. I can tell you as a fact, she saw none of that Tokyo Tower money at all.
But that's such a good story, though.
0 yen.
But it's such a good story.
It would be awesome if true, because that means I would have gotten money too for my Tokyo Tower not my one Tokyo Tower I got in Showroom when I was using it. But it goes through official gym shows, so like she probably saw like 10 cents, if anything, from that.
10 10 Canadian cents.
Sashi Hatarino said something herself about that on a Showroom once. Like someone gave her a tower and she's like, "Yeah, thanks, but I'm gonna get like almost nothing for that." So you should not do that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Sashi's so good.
But I mean,
Oof.
but for this situation, I mean, it was kind of justified just because you want your girl to be noticed, because otherwise they disappear forever.
Yes.
But when you have an established idol, yeah, I don't see any point of throwing towers.
Yeah.
You're better off like stuffing money into an envelope and like stalking them and then like shoving the money into their purse. And...
You get noticed by the person streaming. That's where the satisfaction comes from. It's getting noticed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, there's that's a huge part of it. But in terms of money, your favorite idol gets none of your Tokyo Tower. So keep that in mind the next time you try to buy someone like a 40,000 point like teddy bear thing. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, guys. Showroom gets all the money.
Don't do it.
It's not worth. Save your money.
Putting more money into the pockets of Akipi.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
basically.
needs more money though. He's poor. He's a poor guy.
He's very poor. You know, he needs that extra yacht.
Support Akimoto. He should be all of our Oshi men.
The STU boat is actually Akimoto's. Like, I don't need this boat anymore. You guys can have it. And then they got.
Well, they can't do anything with the boat right now with like severe flooding going on in Techi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's all the news and bullshit that we have.
There was no news.
So we can just let
news.
Stefan talk for the rest of the show.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
well, thank you guys. For your time off. I'll
Tell us about Yoshimoto Zaka. Let's hear about
Yoshimoto Zaka.
Yeah.
Right. So this week, actually last weekend or on Friday, they announced the official final lineup of Yoshimoto Zaka 46, which is their I have no idea what the hell it is, but it's Yoshimoto and the Sakamichi group's collaboration on a brand new, the newest Sakamichi group, which unlike all the other Sakamichi groups, instead of idols and cute girls, it's random old dudes and kind of cute girls.
I love
and
that.
The former
Sounds great.
That's so mean.
So
my girl Ripoco.
Yeah, right. It's you know, everyone, you finally get to see what Ripopo's been doing for the last 3 years. So yeah, she's in there. She's like the one official like idol of this entire group. And the official center for their first I don't even know if they're gonna release a song, but their center is Trendy Angel Saito-san. So he's a bald dude who he's bald. He's famous for being bald. That's how he won like a big comedy contest, because he used bald manzai. He's actually really good at singing though, so that's a plus in his ledger. He wanted to be an idol before he became a comedian.
Oh, that's cool.
So he actually auditioned for Johnny's, but
So
he didn't get
is he
through.
pretty? Is he pretty?
Yeah, he actually he's bald. So
you can be bald and pretty.
No, bald is beautiful, right? Yeah. As a bald guy myself, bald is beautiful. But I'll just say, like, if he doesn't have a hat on, if he has a hat on, he looks really, really cool. He's a pretty cool looking dude, but like he's bald. So like, and like he full on has like the full on like, I'm a bald guy. Here's my hair growing out. It's not growing out here, kind of thing, right?
Is he the guy? Was he on Documental the first season?
He might have been. Was he? I don't think he's been on Document. He might have been. He won the M1 Grand Prix, which is the biggest manzai contest.
Manzai,
yeah.
I'm looking at his picture and he just looks super familiar to me. So
yeah, he might have been on Documental then. I don't really remember every single person who's been on that show. He probably was though. He's on a lot of TV shows. He's kind of a big name in comedy at this point. And now he's going to be the center.
He was recently a guest on, I think, like a Keyaki show.
No, yeah, like so he's.
Was he?
So actually, his partner in Trendy Angel, that's his group name, is a really, really huge otaku. So he goes to maid cafes like every single day, and he's into like all the idol groups. He goes on Kawaiian TV a lot as a guest, because he's a huge idol fan. So like, yeah, because of that, Trendy Angel gets a lot of idol time on TV shows. So I mean, if you see his face, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I know this. Yeah, but so he's the center, and yeah, Trendy Angel. Look it up, guys. And so he's the center along with Spike. Spike, they're like a 10-year comedy group, but they're both girls. They're both kind of oshare girls, kind of, but like they aren't exactly idols, so I don't know where they know what's gonna go on with that. And then in addition to that, we have a lot of like we're like actual old dudes. Like there's like a 70-year-old guy who's gonna be in the group. Murakami Shoji. There is a convicted sex offender who's going to be in the group, so that's cool.
Oh,
that's weird.
That's
yeah.
Cool. That's interesting.
So no, this guy like actually he exposed himself to high schoolers when he was performing on stage at a high school once, so that's kind of cool.
Oh.
And
he
then,
did that while at a high school.
Yeah,
he didn't think about it.
School. Like I don't know if he did it on purpose, but like he pulled down his pants and exposed himself. And then after that, he got arrested for paying for sex with a high schooler. So then he got banned from Yoshimoto for 15 years. And then he finally got back into Yoshimoto. And now, like a year later, he's in an idol group. So that's how Yoshimoto works, guys. And then who else is there of interest here? So yeah, we have Repo. And then so one of my friends is actually in Yoshimoto Zaka. He actually got in. His name's Masaruko. So he is a flamboyantly gay 36-year-old man who he's really really good. His dream was to always be an idol. So like it really works, and he's actually in.
If there's something really cool about this is like you get the chance of like being a genin and being an idol like at the same time, which is like you don't get that chance a lot.
And it's an unconventional group too, right? So like if you were never like the conventional idol type, but you always wanted to be an idol, like this is a cool way to a fun way to like fulfill that dream.
Yeah, I guess it is, but like at the same time, some of these people are like so busy that like I can't imagine them actually like showing up for like a performances or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, like right, like Trendy Angel, they're really really busy. Who else would be busy? Like Obata no Onisan, he's big for his Oguri Shon monomane, so he's always busy doing stuff. So like he'll never be on there, and it's just like at a certain point you kind of look at this group and you think, what are they doing, right? Like that's
that's what everyone wants to know.
Since Yoshimoto Zaka has become a thing, like I've been asking everyone I know around Yoshimoto, just in a casual conversation, hey, what's up with the Yoshimoto Zaka? And no one knows what Yoshimoto Zaka is. I'll ask them like, hey, what's the Yoshimoto Zaka doing? They're like, I don't know. So like literally the answer is be like, I don't know. And so I asked the guy today, and the only thing he would tell me, or he could tell me, is that apparently next month they're going to be performing at an event somewhere. I don't know what event. He wouldn't tell me that. I don't think he knows what event, but they're going to be doing an event somewhere.
So it's a song.
That's all I know.
So we know there's
I've seen some of their like dance practice videos. I mean, because they're up on YouTube, or at least the people who were like auditioning, I guess, for the dance practices. But I mean, it's
like, 9-stage audition for Yoshimoto Zaka. Yeah, I think the dance videos are up for that one.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely interesting to watch. I mean, like you can tell that they're trying, and that's really cool. But they're often very out of sync. And I don't know if they're existing songs or like if there's songs made for them already. But like the music's pretty good.
Yeah, right. Like I think it might be an original song they're dancing to. It might not. Not sure. I think from now on they are going to work on getting an original song, on original songs. I hope. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be covering songs for their official performances. Their goal apparently is to get onto Kohaku Tagasen, which like it's a very Yoshimoto thing to do. Like our goal is Kohaku, and then that's like the like
It's like, all the other Zakas are in Kohaku, so like, let's make another Zaka.
I don't know about, I don't think this year, but like their goal in like overall is to get to Kohaku.
To get to Kohaku.
So I don't know if it's like a one-time thing, and like once you get to Kohaku, that's it. Their game over. Like
First get to Kohaku. First get to Kohaku, then you go for Tokyo Dome, then you go for Budokan. Yes. That's the dream.
Yeah, right. The random order where like the smallest theater is like the one you aim for the most. Yeah, like so yeah, Yoshimoto Zaka is, I think it's supposed to be a permanent group. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. But from what I'm hearing, it's not supposed to end. It's just supposed to be like it's an actual idol group from now on, which personally makes no sense to me, judging from the members who are like what some of these members might actually die of old age or exhaustion from doing idol stuff. Like, it's not like, you know, it's not like Keyakizaka or whatever, where it's like, you're like 15-year-olds who like have all this energy, so they're allowed to do stuff, so they can do stuff and like recover quickly. It's literally 40-something-year-old obese old men who like can't do anything. Like they're gonna die. You're gonna kill some of these people.
I just
can't wait for.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying I can't wait to see handshake sales and Oshi towels.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, first of all, get Takahiro there, make him choreography, like do the choreography. So you just kill like 80% of them, right? And then I just can't wait to see which member I'm gonna get as a card.
The ones the ones who survive the choreo, the ones who live the choreo are Senbatsu.
Oh, the Senbatsu. Yeah, we have to talk about Senbatsus. Ooh.
Senbatsu's gonna be center.
Who's gonna be? Well, we know
center. Yeah, there's gonna be Senbatsus. But since everyone's already like busy with their own like comedian gaining life, like it's gonna be impossible to get like a normal Senbatsu going to like every single performance.
Would they get like a TV show? Do you think they would get their own TV show? Because like that seems like something one, right? Yeah, but like it will continue something like, I don't know, something like AK Bingo or something like
Yoshi Bingo.
Yeah,
Yoshi
something like that.
Bingo.
I mean, I feel like that's like the perfect thing to make for Yoshimoto Zaka, right? Because like that's what you want. Yeah.
You'd think that'd be what they would do, but I don't know. They literally filmed that the Yoshimoto Zaka show in my office. Like literally, I'll be sitting at my desk and like looking across, and I'll see like their recording session going on. Like
hey, it was that thing I was eliminated from.
Yeah, exactly. And like the staff would be like, "Hey, good job. Sorry about the crying thing," and then they just walk away. Like it's a really awkward experience. Like, and like they literally film it in the Yoshimoto offices, so everyone's busy doing like random things, and then you'll just hear random laughter from like Higashino-san saying something funny or something semi-funny, and all the staff laugh, and you're just like, God, I have to get this paperwork done by 6 o'clock. Is it over yet? So like Yoshimoto Zaka in general, at least in my opinion, has been nothing but a pain in the butt for me.
So do you want to talk about your audition? Like
auditions? Yes.
Yeah, because let's talk about pain in the butt. So
yes.
Yeah, so Yoshimoto Zaka, despite being a weird thing with like no actual idol aspirations in it, apparently had like 10 rounds of auditions to get to be an actual member. I think it's like even more strenuous than like a normal Sakamichi audition. So the first round, which I passed, was just the normal like written application round. So they're just like, send in your headshot, send in like your profile, and we'll pass or fail you.
Yeah. Are you?
What does it say in your profile, Stephen?
So I was like, hey, I'm an American, and like so that's pretty much all you need to write down.
I'm an American.
In my case, just like,
I'm an
American.
And I speak Japanese.
Let me in. Let me join.
But like actually, like that first round, they had like over 1,000 applicants from inside the ocean. And from that first round, they dropped it down to like 300 or 200 members, which is a pretty big
people to apply?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead. Go talk about what you're talking about.
No, I mean, so it's like they cut like a lot of Yoshimoto, like a lot of people right off the bat, like a couple hundred people right off the bat. And then from then on, for the next like 8 rounds of audition, it was like only like 10 people getting cut at a time, which seems like a really, really like pain in the butt, long process for this Yoshimoto Zaka thing, which probably won't be a thing in 10 years. But so they're just like, so the second round, which is where I failed, there was the interview and song portion. So what I would do, so it was like so they'd have a room blocked out in Yoshimoto headquarters for like an entire day. They'd go like 5 people at a time in a group, go one by one, tell us who you are, where you're from. Do you have anything you can show us in terms of like hobbies or like talents or anything? Okay, now sing your song. And then like And then after that, they'll ask you like any additional questions if they have any, like at the end of like the whole like 5-person group.
That's straight up like
so
idol.
my group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
no,
straight up
it was
idol
really just straight up
audition.
idol.
Yeah.
It was a straight up idol audition, except for like the people interviewing you or the people who are like judging you. One of them was like my actual manager for like my my normal comedy stuff. So it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And like another one was like some really low low level like Yoshimoto employee who like I know got hired after I did as a comedian or whatever. So it's just like, okay, that person's there. And it's just like I don't really see anybody who's actually from like Yoshimoto Zaka or like from like the actual like idol portion.
Yeah.
It's just like normal Yoshimoto auditions going on. So like the camera's cruising there. They have one camera just for the audition, and they have another camera for the TV show. And like they're always like, you know, and then like outside the actual audition room, they have another camera walking around asking people like, "How was the audition? Tell us how it went. Tell us all your important details or whatever." So there's that camera going on, and I distinctly remember in the waiting room, it was like a bunch of just random like no-name comedians, and like sitting in the corner is Hard Gay. I don't know if you guys know Hard Gay.
Yeah, of course.
HG.
Hard Gay,
So
yeah.
Hard Gay sitting in the corner, like in full-on Hard Gay like uniform, waiting for his audition. Yeah, I'm just like, what is Yoshimoto Zaka? What am I doing here? And then like, there's like this. They have this huge poster on the wall, like, "Don't try to be funny. This is a serious audition." And like, no, don't try to make jokes. Just do your audition. Sing. Tell us who you're from, who you are, where you're from, and then sing your song. That's it.
Don't be
try
funny.
Don't be funny.
So...
Which is really like you're telling comedians to do this, so this is like your first off. It's like I don't know what you're aiming for, and then and then Hard Gay is there in his full uniform, so apparently he didn't get the memo either, right? So I'm just like, what's the point of this?
He failed. Yeah.
What compelled people to apply?
I think it's just like
Yoshi.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
So I'm trying to. Let's see. So should I tell you guys how it actually happened? So okay. So in my case, my manager sent the same one who was there at the audition, sent out an email like, "Hey, Yoshimoto Zaka deadlines are in a week. Unless you have a valid excuse, apply." So like, it was like, they forced you to apply if you're a comedian in the company, unless you're like too busy to actually be in this thing, or like you can't dance, or like you have like a medical condition that makes it so you can't dance. Like you were forced to audition for this. So that's why the audition numbers are so high, because everybody signed up. Every single person pretty much in the company signed up for Yoshimoto Zaka, at least in the young comedian group, because our manager told us to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a very like awkward process. Like I probably would have signed up in the first place, even without that whole like you must audition thing going on. But like, you know, it was like a really kind of like just looking at that and looking at how the audition went. I'm like, what is Yoshimoto Zaka? Do I really want to devote all my time to this? And it was just like, it was a really awkward. Dude. It was an awkward 3 weeks of my life between the first and second round of audition.
Yeah.
So then, I guess, should I talk about how I cried? Or?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tell us all your stories.
Okay. Wait, you cried?
What? Yeah. So like, so right, they're like, be serious and everything. It's like, okay, so like I'm like, this is me just being completely wrong about how things were supposed to go for the audition. Like, be serious. This is an idol audition. Don't worry about being funny. Don't be a comedian here. So I'm like, okay, so they want like something really serious. I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna be like a super serious. Like, I'm doing this because my mom is Japanese and I want to reconnect with my Japanese side. And like when I was 5 years old, I threw away my mom's bento box for lunch because all the other students at my preschool made fun of me. And I'm like really like super like serious about like I'm gonna be some super dramatic guy, and that'll definitely get me on TV. But like I was like, I got too into it and I started like crying.
Oh my
God. Full of like tears running down my face.
So you didn't plan the crying.
I want to be an idol because my mom's really, really nice. And when I was a kid, I grew with my mom's bento, and I feel so bad about this. And I want to be an idol because of that. And like, I'm just like, tears running down my cheek. And like the other guy who auditioned after me is like patting me on the back, like, it's okay, it's okay. So like, it was like I mean, I didn't intend for it to become that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're gonna fail an audition for Yoshimoto Zaka, I'd rather it have been like super big like that than just like, oh yeah, you aren't good enough at singing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like apparently, I asked the guy like one of the people who like was auditioning after this fact, like a couple weeks ago actually. He's like, oh yeah, if it was just the song, you would have gotten through, but you cried a lot, so we had to cut you.
Did you get screen time?
I don't think I got streamed. I honestly didn't watch the episode because I was embarrassed about how it went.
Oh, okay.
It's like I haven't watched it, but I don't think I got any screen time out of it.
What did you sing? What was your song?
I sang an old 1960s enka song.
Oh.
Because I'm like, hey, white guy singing or foreigner singing enka, this is gonna work. So like I'm like, this is gonna be so like right. Because I thought it was supposed to be funny because it's a gaining audition.
Yeah,
so I thought it was supposed to be funny, right? It's like, hey, this American is singing an old-fashioned Japanese song, and he can sing it kind of well. Okay, cool. This is funny. So like the second I started singing, like the people behind me, the other auditioners started laughing because it's like such a weird song choice for me to do. But like the people who were like the judges are just like sitting there like stone-faced, like, I'm like, oh god, this is going completely wrong. So, I mean, it was just, like, a really, really weird, like, I don't know.
They're, like...
In terms, like, of what I thought they were looking for and what they were actually looking for, there was a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they didn't let you know, right? They just, like...
No, they then should have sent an email out beforehand, like, hey, this is an actual idol. Don't worry about your comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hikabani in the chat is telling us that you did not get any screen time.
You didn't make it, dude.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought that would be.
I would have watched you crying.
Yeah, I would have watched that. So into
I mean, it'll probably be in like their like year-end like digest. Like, hey, here's the people who didn't make Yoshimoto Zaka. Blah 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 blah. Here's this crying foreigner. Look at him cry. Isn't this sad? Anyways, back to this.
Yeah. Those on-screen captions will kill you.
No, it'll be something like Stefan, 27 years old, lonely, or something like that.
And crying.
27, lonely, and crying.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Oh.
Well, then after that, they had like a whole like a swimsuit. The third round was swimsuit audition.
Oh yeah, the Gravier stuff too, right?
Oh yeah, and then before they even had that, they had like a whole show. High chef cuts so the guys who got cut after the first round could like sing or could like do a showroom every single day, and the top 20 people on showroom would like get a second chance at the audition.
Yeah, consolation.
Which is really, really weird. Like, why? I mean,
it's
like,
so serious. I understand. This is a real competition.
Like, I understand why you would do it, but like, it's really, really weird that they'd go that far in depth into Yoshimoto Zaka when no one knows what it is yet. Like, literally, no one knew what it was at that. So like, it was just like a really, So they had the high chef Fukatsu, and then they had the second round, which I cried at. The third round was the bikini gravier shots, and then the fourth round was they had another photo shoot thing. It was a 20-second Jiko Shokai appeal video. So like, hey, 20 seconds of like you showing why you want to be in Yoshimoto Zaka.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And then they had like another round after that, which was, I think, another picture thing. What was it? I don't remember. There's another picture one, I think. And then they finally get to the dance auditions. So like, hey, everyone, you get into these groups like 10 people, you get to do your dance audition thing. And then the people will choose people from each group to go on to the next semifinal round or the next final round, which is when they finally get to go in front of Akimoto Yasashi and they sing and dance, and like then he like does his Akimoto Yasashi magic thing. Okay, this guy's in the group, and then like that. And then they had a whole big 3-hour-long So Senkyo style, like, here are the members of Yoshimoto Zaka, give a speech, sort of thing, apparently.
Yeah, so I want to ask...
that was the whole half-year-long ordeal of the Yoshimoto Zaka selection process.
Yeah, that's long.
So you're telling me that the 80-year-old guy had like swimsuit shots and
yeah.
Yes. Whoa. Really?
How did that happen? Like, and they were told not to do comedic stuff with that. Like, that's such a perfect opportunity for them to be funny.
Round, like, I think for the most part, people just started like not giving a damn and just like started just like being like super like, fine, I'm just gonna do whatever, and they just. I think Yoshimoto Zaka has kind of devolved. I don't want to say devolved, but like it's gone to that point where like they're just allowed to just do whatever the heck they feel like. And then now they got back to the whole dancing and like all that stuff. So I think they're back at like a serious idol group thing. But like around the third or fourth rounds, people just started getting really, really tired of like being super serious idols the entire time. So just like swimsuit picture. Okay, I'm just gonna wear an assless chaps to my swimsuit.
Yeah,
like, that sort of stuff.
You're a comedian.
Yeah, I mean.
That's
so I mean, Yoshimoto Zaka, it is being ran by the biggest comedy company in Japan, but Yoshimoto's not just comedians, as you can tell by how they run NMB and stuff.
Yeah, so I guess we can expect like just straight up idol related, events from this. Like from what you're telling me, the audition sound pretty idol, and because my first guess was like maybe they're gonna do like I don't know like pen pineapple apple pen, like they're trying to make something like that, right? Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem
like
looking
at these members.
It doesn't seem like
like looking at these members and everything. Like I'm not really sure how much like idol stuff they can actually do with a lot of these guys, right?
Yeah.
Because like you have really really old people for one. You have like. Oh, there's a lot of just random like middle-aged men in this group, so like I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. And then you have like a couple of former like a former idol, former NMB member, right? And then you have like a couple like ugly, famous for being ugly girl comedians.
Yes.
And then you have like random okay good-looking like idols or random okay good-looking comedians too. So it's just like I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Yeah. I really wanted to talk about. Yeah. So I mean, I really wanted to talk about Yoshimoto like in the first place, just because they're at least like in our circles, like a lot of people are just seeing it as sort of like a joke and a mistake already. Like that's just the way they're labeling it. Like they cite stuff like Akimoto's tried this with like OJS, which is the Oji-san group, right? And that didn't work out and stuff like that. And like and so from the beginning, I mean, I didn't feel like writing it off because like it was Yoshimoto, which is a huge deal, and it was Sakamichi, which is sort of like you kind of consider them like a premium tier in idolness, right? And so like from the start, I always felt like this was something to watch, but like it's hard from our side to understand things, especially when like there aren't like people like dedicated people willing to translate things who are like super interested in what's going on with Yoshimoto Zaka. So this was really great.
Honestly, there's not much to translate.
Yeah.
Yoshimoto Zaka, despite all the effort Yoshimoto and the Sakamichi families putting into this, has relatively little media about it. Like there's not really many interviews because all these Yoshimoto members already have lives outside of Yoshimoto Zaka. So it's not like we have to introduce these new members or look at these new idols. It's like, hey, this person who does this is also going to be an idol now. So like there's less of like a whole like having to create like an entire like audience for it because there's already people who are already huge fans of these people, of these gaming and comedians.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's just going to be interesting. Go ahead.
No, I think that's kind of the big difference between Yoshimoto Zaka as opposed to all these other produced groups is that he's not starting from zero with this group, right? There's a whole other aspect of like Yoshimoto already having these people already promoted as heck, and some of these people already like being big contest winners, or in the case of like some people like huge like legendary comedians who really shouldn't be doing idol stuff at the age that they are. Yeah. So those people, and so there's less of a push really on both sides, I think, to really like promote it as much as it would have been if it was like a full on like hey, Yoshimoto's gonna make this new group with Sakamichi, but it's gonna be an entirely like actual idol, like 15-year-old, 20-year-old idols.
Yeah.
So like because due to that, I think there's a lot less media from it, and maybe there's a lot less attention than there would be otherwise.
I feel like at this point though, now they finally released like their official lineup, like they need to be doing press now. Because like
I think
now
we will see more press.
Nobody knows what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think next month they have an event. I'm not really sure what's going on, but like I think from now on you're gonna start seeing a little bit more attention. Yoshimoto Zaka's way. I mean, it helps obviously that they already do have all these members that have lives or have TV shows outside of Yoshimoto Zaka to start out with. So like they can always they can kind of promote that on the side while doing their actual like other Yoshimoto gigs. And then I think you will see like some of these lesser known lesser known members, even like Ripopo, start doing like the rounds on the TV shows, the TV show circuit to promote Yoshimoto Zaka as a thing. Yeah. Don't quote me on that though, but I think for the most part you will. I mean, up until now it's been like a half year of just auditions and like people cutting the group down from like 1,000 people all the way down to like the 40 people it is now. So like I think obviously now that we do know who's gonna be in it, you're gonna start seeing more of a push in it, right? Because like when like Nogizaka or when Keyakizaka were first started going out, it wasn't like a immediate push like, hey, they're doing auditions for this group, right? They had to kind of wait till the members were solidified before they could do much, right? Yeah. But then again, it's Yoshimoto, so I don't know.
Yeah. So we're coming up on an hour and a half here. I think we're reaching the end of this sort of Yoshimoto discussion. It was great having you talk about all that. So just because so much information that we didn't know. But I want to give you some time here to talk about sort of like stuff you're doing in Big in Japan.
As I said way earlier in the podcast, I'm also a co-host for Big in Japan, which is an English language podcast by a bunch of Japanese comedians who do comedy in Japan. And as part of the Big in Japan podcast family, right now we're starting next month. We're going to be doing a new show with Necro Nam Idol. They're they're this kind of I think people who know idols kind of know Necro.
Yeah, they're kind of up there in like the alt idol world.
Yeah, right. They're starting to get a little bit more and more of a influential setting here. But anyways, starting next month, we're going to be doing a variety show with Necro Nam Idol every single Monday in Japan at 12 p.m. So around the same time as this show today. And it's going to be hosted by Time Bomb Nick, who is one of our other co-hosts on the Big in Japan show, and his Aitakatta. And we're trying to do it every single week. It's going to be like an actual we're trying to make it like an actual like kind of like AK Bingo, only with like Necro Nam Idol members. And it's gonna definitely be fun. I finished the first draft of the script last night. So yay me. It was a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be a really, really fun time. So please feel free to check that out. Also, Big in Japan, we have a Patreon if you want to support us there. Patreon.com/Big in Japan. It's all one word. And then if you can find us on Twitter at Big Japan Show, actually. And if I think a lot of people, there's probably a lot of people who have already who are watching this who already know Big in Japan. But yeah, obviously Nick is obviously connected more than I am, probably in terms of the Sakamichi group. So yeah, I mean, Big in Japan, we occasionally talk about idols and stuff as well there, and maybe on that show I'll review who Oshima Yuko is sleeping with.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna go offline just so you can tell us.
Okay.
Before you do that though, all the links to Big in Japan's various things, we'll have those in the description for the VOD. And then what was I gonna say? Yeah. So someone in chat is saying that we should plug that Nick was on Nogi Ego.
Yeah,
because
I mean his
that's what we're
Nogi
here
goes like
for.
regular.
This is the Idol podcast. Yeah. Yeah, Nick's been on Nogi. We've said that plenty of times on the show before.
Nick is cool. Go watch his stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask actually. So, you guys. So, I just wanted some clarification because I think Nick talked about it a little bit before on his own stream. But so you guys are going to be streaming on Twitch, but that's kind of like a raw version, right? And then
so the raw version will be streamed on Twitch for the Necronama. The show's going to be called Witching Hour. I should probably say that. Yeah. Kind of dropped the bother. It's going to be called the Witching Hour. So the Witching Hour, the full 1 hour long like live show is going to be on Twitch. And then we're going to be cutting down some of the segments and like editing them and working our magic to make it like, glitzy and glamorous. And then that'll be on Necroma's YouTube channel. So it'll be like, when you watch full episodes, full raw rips of a TV show. And then you go on YouTube and you see like the highlights, kind of that sort of deal.
And you guys are planning on some sort of fan interaction too?
Yeah. So we're still working on it now. Actually, I got an email from Nick where so we're encouraging everybody to submit their comments during the live stream, and then what we're gonna do if it's so we're gonna have Nick read off the best of the comments to the girls during the show, and if the comments are in Japanese, we'll have the girls translate those Japanese comments to English for everyone's viewing enjoyment. That's at least what we're trying to do. It's still up in the air. We're still working on the final script, so it might change. There might be no fan. There's going to be some fan interaction regardless, but we don't really know what's going to be. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested, you can follow Big in Japan at Big in Japan with underscores between each word.
On Twitch. Yes.
Yeah. Nick does IRL streams too, and that's where the Raw show will be streamed at. So you can go ahead and follow that if you're interested. Also, Big in Japan talks a lot about the entertainment industry in Japan, stuff that we didn't get to cover today. A lot wider berth than what we do here too. So if you're interested,
a lot of poop humor. too much poop humor, but
yeah. So they have VODs too up on iTunes and YouTube and etc. There'll be links for all of those in the description. Yeah. So I mean, it was great having you on, Stephen.
Yay! It was
Thank you very much for having me on. It was a great time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're coming up on the end of the show here. If you like what you saw here, you can follow us on Twitch at Oshi Moshi Cast. You can follow us on Twitter as well at Oshi Moshi Cast, and then we're also on YouTube. That's where all our VODs go. You can also follow each of us individually on Twitter. I'm at Wii Bookstore. Maris is at MarisSenpai46. Mina is at MyUE24, and Stephen is at Stephen Tetsu. Should be on your screen there. But yeah. So any last thoughts at all before we log out here? Maris?
I'm just thinking about Dota right now. So yeah, I'll just go watch Dota and yeah. Thank you for being here, Stefan. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mina, you got anything?
Yeah, watch the Witching Hour, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Watch it. You guys should watch it. And thanks for Stefan for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, his experience was like actually good. Like,
it was awesome.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
A crying scene. I was like, oh my gosh.
Crying.
I was like, oh my gosh. Whoa.
I can't relate.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, but before I say goodbye here at the end, we held a poll over the week, as I totally forgot about, from last episode about which song we think is worse, Teacher or Student Dance from Keyaki.
Yeah.
The results for that are on the Twitter. If you answered the poll, you should be able to see it now. But yeah. I'm going to be retweeting some responses that I got about songs that they thought were worse or like people's thoughts. So you can look out for that as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. VOD will be up sooner than it has been. I know I'm slow. It's my fault. But yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone who joined the stream. And until next time, bye.
Bye.